Hi friends, welcome to Maria's Ideas Teaches Us to Paint. This is episode 33 of our volunteer cable TV show, which airs in Bethel Park on BPTV. There are a couple different channels there, and it usually airs about 3 times a month. And then it is on their YouTube channel and my YouTube channel, which you are watching right now, Maria's Ideas Art. So this is the approximately 10-minute tutorial just to help you draw the design if you need assistance with that. But we hope you'll subscribe to our channel. It's free, and we're just here to help inspire others to maybe draw and paint, and anyone can do this. It just takes practice like anything else. So we do film the show each month at Johno's art studio, which is where I started my business there, Maria's Ideas, 43 years ago. My husband Johno is also a very well-known artist in the Pittsburgh area, and he's done work in around the country. And if you're ever in Pittsburgh, stop by, check us out. So we have mariasideas.com and johnosart.com they're our websites. We have our hours and information there. So in this show, I do film with my co-host, Alan Levine. So let's get started here. So our guest for this episode is Debbie Jackman. She owns a Songbird Artistry in the Lawrenceville, Bloomfield area of Pittsburgh. And I design each episode to fit our special guest. And then if you watch the show, she comes in with us and paints, and just kind of have fun doing that. So I will show you a couple of different techniques to get your drawing onto your canvas. All right, so we can do a couple different things. You can, if you do any work on a computer, I did this on a computer quickly. You can draw something on your computer or iPad or something, print it out, actual size. We are using 11 by 14. We use the canvas panels, mostly for filming purposes. They don't have the bounce, and they're just easier to work with. You can use any size that you would like, and I can help you adjust your design to fit any size, canvas or board or paper or whatever you're using. So that's one way. If you do print it out, actual size, you can take chalk and rub it on the back. You could take a graphite pencil. You cover where all of the lines where you wanted to transfer. So say this was the area here. You would just kind of do something like that all over, wherever you need to draw the lines, and then you lay this down on your surface and you trace over it, and it will transfer the design. So graphite pencil works well, chalk works well. So you can do that if you have the actual size. If you do not want to do that, and if you say you have graphite paper, this is comes in a white and the graphite like this. It's like carbon paper for you older folks. Everyone that's maybe above a certain age knows what carbon paper is. And then you lay that underneath, and you would trace over and transfer that design on there. So that's another way. I'm going to show you a third technique. So this is what we're going to paint, Songbird Beauty. All right. The other way is you can transfer the design, which I will, let's see, I have a small one here. Whoops. Red. Whoopsie. This is live. Kind of live. Anyway, let's see. So this is a 5 by 7. This is 11 by 14. So I will show you how to transfer or draw a design on something that's larger. You could also do smaller too, but you just use the grid system. I do paint murals in the Pittsburgh area. I've been doing that for about 29 years, and I also apply this technique when I'm painting a large wall. I can start with a small image and transfer the design using this. So I'm taking the paper, I folded it in half and then half again. And then we will take it vertically and horizontally. Fold it in half, half again. So you will end up with equal parts. Okay, so because this is a rectangle, they are more of a rectangular shape. Let's see, I will grab I will grab, let's see, I'll grab this pink just to show you. Okay, so this is just a pencil, color pencil. So I will show you where these lines are. So we have the image divided in half, vertically divided in half again. Okay, so we have 4 columns, and then where the folds are, okay, horizontally. So what this does is it gives you your equal parts, and it doesn't have to be exact, but we have our equal parts, okay? So we have 16 rectangles. If this was a square, you would end up with squares. So the only thing you need to keep in mind, if you want the same proportions as what you have here, is that the piece or the wall that you are transferring your designs onto is the same proportion. If you're transferring a rectangle image to a square, it's going to be off a little bit. So just try to keep that in mind. They don't have to be exactly the same proportion, but close. It does help. So let's see. So now we're going to, I just wrapped a piece of paper around a board just to show you, just for display purposes. So let's see. We are going to draw the same amount of rectangles on our board. So I'm just eyeballing it. You can certainly get a ruler or tape measure or something and find the center, but I just eyeball everything. So let's see. I will going to just, and it's easy if you put a little mark top and bottom, side to side, when you're drawing a line. Even if you're painting too, it helps to look ahead and see where your hand is going, and that it just helps with guiding it. So let's see. So I'm going to draw a line from there to there. Okay, and I'm using a watercolor pencil. You can use graphite pencil, you can use chalk. If you use a watercolor pencil, it will blend and melt back into your paint. If you use a graphite pencil, just do it very lightly. I'm doing it darker here just so that you can see it. All right, and the one thing that we did do, you can do this or not, but when we did, this is the one that we painted for our show. So we do these very quickly in about 35 minutes. We did base paint the canvas first pink. So if you like that technique and you want to have the base, paint your canvas pink first, or whatever color that you would like. If you wanted to be similar to that, you would use, I used a pale pink and a hot pink, and I just mixed them in just very quickly with the chip brush. I did do that. So you would let that dry. Then you would draw on top of that if you wanted to paint the way we did this one. All right, so I divided this vertically in half, and then each side in half again, and then just kind of eyeball the horizontal center, and just kind of go like this. And you can see I'm not really, it's not perfect. It's just giving us a reference point. Okay, so we have those. So now we have the same amount of rectangles as we do on our small reference image. Now what you do is you go into each rectangle and draw what you see. Okay, so I am going to start with the head, and you can also break these down into shapes. You can see the head is egg shape or an oval. The body is also another egg shape. You have rectangles, you have the geometric shapes, which if instead of worrying about, oh, it's a bird, I can't draw a bird, you just look at the shapes and you break it down into simple sections. So I can see here that the head is in this second one over, the second one over and down. So it's in these 4, okay? We can talk about maybe composition later and why I did this off center. That's a whole other thing. But let's see, let's get this head. So the little bird's head. So we have, what I'm going to do is just do some like 4 little marks just to guide me as to how large this is going to be. So on the second one in and second one over, you could see it's in the if I divide even this one into thirds, I'm just doing it visually. You can also mark it. You can make more. You can make as many rectangles as you would like. This is usually, I try to keep a little bit simpler, but if I even divide this into thirds, if I'm about here, if I did that, I'm right around here for if I go, it's about halfway up and one of the, like 2/3 over from the left side, that's about the top of the head. And then if I come down here, I'm just looking at these little points of reference where this head is. So it's less, once it crosses over this intersection, you could see it's only here. From this intersection, you have about 1/3 over. So now I have just a reference point, and I can just, again, keep it light and lightly, but again, I'm doing this darker just so you could see it. So there's the head. This is for placement, for shape. When you paint and after you draw it, you can tweak everything and adjust everything, but this just helps you get it on paper. Now the body of the bird, the breast and the underbelly, we have, this comes off of the head here. It angles out a little bit here, and then it comes back in. You can do it more like this, like a geometric shape, or you can do the just points of reference, which I should just do that again for you. So let's see, here and here. So now you could see that's a big egg shape like that. So if I just keep that light, and then we will refine the design. And then this little wing comes here, and it comes all the way down into this third, 1, 2, 3, down about here, okay. And then the tail comes from here to here, and then you can see it is over in here. So you just look at your rectangles or squares, depending on the shape of your original piece that you're going from. And then I can grab, I'll leave this here. This little leg is here. I am going to put the branch in, and then this one starts here. So it's a little bit different, a little bit off more, you know, from that, but that's okay. And then the branch comes here, and then our flowers. But before I do the flowers, I'm going to refine this image of the bird. So let me grab, I will grab a blue pencil. And as I look at this, now I can come in and just shape this a little nicer. Okay, I'm not going to paint these lines here, but this just gives me, again, this point. The beak is now where this line crosses over. We come in here, we come out. Okay, so there's our beak, and then underneath, and then we have, you can put it into little wing feather shapes if you'd like. All the detail gets done whenever you paint. This is just an indication of where some of those feathers are. All right, so you can see how this comes together very easily. And again, the details come in when you paint. And then the little eye is in, it's behind this intersection and mostly above here. So there's the eye, and then you have your different areas that get shaded and painted. And then, like I said, the branch is in here, the flowers, things like that I usually just do as I'm painting, but you can certainly draw them in. This flower is divided, like half of it's above here and the other half here. So if I put the circle, there's my one flower here. These two, the center of this one is about here, the center of this one's here, and then these have the other two. So you can see how easily this just gives you the guide to work from. In the background, we just did different colors as we kind of mixed right on the canvas too. So there you have it. So you can see it's just very simple. You can use this grid method to draw anything. And like I said, if you're doing something that has more detail, you can divide this into even more rectangles. And then you just go in each one, you count over, you count down, you can number them if that makes it easier. You just count over, and then you do the same equal parts on whatever your surface is that you're painting. So, and that's it. So this is the final piece. So this one I created in the computer just for time's sake because we always have so much going on. So I did create that in the computer. Then when we paint this live during our show, I try not to make it, we try not to make it look like each other's. We do our own little thing here. This one certainly doesn't even look like the one that I did there. So the colors look, I think they're coming across a little duller on the monitor, but they're very, very vivid. This is a really pretty hot pink, so we did do that base a hot pink and then the colors over top. Very, very painterly style. We only have about 35 minutes to paint these, so but anyway, I hope you'll subscribe and come back every month. We do have a new guest each month. Every once in a while, it's just myself and my co-host, just to give each other some quality time because we're usually talking to the guests and all. But so anyway, this is our little Songbird beauty, and hope to see you next time. And if you're ever in the Berg, stop by and say hi. All right. Thank you for following the pickle.